Wrestling fans expect to see certain match types every single year, but there are some old favourites and some not so favoured ideas that you'll likely never see from WWE in particular again though. I'm Gareth, this is What Culture Wrestling, and here are some WWE match types you will never see again. The 50-person Royal Rumble. 2018's greatest Royal Rumble was anything but. It only existed to suck up to Saudi Arabian royalty and pretend they were getting a PLE bigger/better than the standard Rumble. WWE beefed the lineup from 30 to 50 and tried to kid on Braun Strowman's one-off belt meant something to the weekly product. Spoiler, it did not. This match was a present gift wrapped for the kingdom. It was an exhausting exercise in idea dilution that happened just 3 months after the beloved January spectacle, and it will never happen again. They'd previously experimented with 40 wrestlers in 2011, of course. 30 is the magic number, and that's very much that. And this so-called greatest example achieved the impossible. It unified almost the entire pro wrestling audience under one banner. That banner said, "Stick this 50-person match up your the Ambrose Asylum." There's one rather simple reason why this match will never be seen again. In short, Jon Moxley is no longer Dean Ambrose, and there's a fair chance he won't ink a WWE contract again before hanging up his blood-soaked boots. Mox is just happier in AEW, isn't he? Man, do you remember the Ambrose Asylum? It was a specialty match designed for Dino's feud with Chris Jericho back in 2016, but it ended up becoming a one-and-done effort. At least the pair got to pull a shocker out of the bag along the way. Jericho bumped onto thumbtacks, which certainly wasn't the norm during WWE's PG era. The Asylum was just a standard steel cage with barbed wire coating and various weapons scattered around, but it was considered an Ambrose original. That's why it qualifies for this list, but you'll never hear that alliterative name on WWE TV again. The House of Horrors. Bray Wyatt's sudden passing in August 2023 left the entire wrestling community stunned. Many had been waiting for Wyatt's return to WWE TV when news broke, and it wasn't long before tributes poured in for one of the most creative souls to ever step foot inside rings. WWE introduced several Bray-inspired bouts over the years, and you won't see any of them again. And to be absolutely fair, only one of them could be considered a success. It'd be a lie to say the House of Horrors scrap with Randy Orton at Payback 2017 was a winner though. In fact, whilst defo a precursor towards the cinematic style WWE favoured mid-pandemic years later, it was a miserable romp through bogus scares. In fairness, it was better than the dreary in-ring bout both had worked in front of a bored crowd at WrestleMania 33, but yeah, House of Horrors is definitely a thing of the past. The Firefly Funhouse. Where else could you see John Cena join the NWO, Bray Wyatt do his Muscle Man dance, or anything else the balmy pair had a hoot producing back at WrestleMania 36? Bray's madness-drenched Firefly Funhouse creation was one of the highlights from WWE's obsession with cinematic matches. It was tremendous fun from start to finish. Wyatt and Cena were visibly having the best time just being silly too. The premise here was that Bray had sucked JC into his world, and that he decided to torture Cena by forcing him to revisit the world's craziest blend of career history and wrestling lore. It was mad, but some laugh. The Funhouse is no more now that Bray has passed, sadly. That means WWE can't really revisit this sort of thing, or any of the quirky cast of characters Wyatt's quasi-children's TV presenter persona interacted with. Still, fans who watched it live can always just dip back into the archives, can't they? But I want to know right now, what is your favourite ever Wyatt moment? Was it the Firefly Funhouse or something else? You let me know in the comment section down below. The 6-person Hell in a Cell. There wasn't really anywhere to go after this, was there? The then WWF plonked 6 of the biggest stars in the industry inside of Hell in a Cell, and had them go at it like someone playing multiplayer Carnage on WWE 2K23 or 24, I don't know when this is gonna drop. Steve Austin, The Rock, Triple H, The Undertaker, Kurt Angle, and Rikishi all took mighty bumps. The latter's sawdust fall was absolutely epic throughout this bloody brawl before Angle somehow escaped with his title. WWE hasn't tried anything like this since. Sure, multi-wrestler matches are the norm on TV and PLE even today, but a 6-strong Hell in a Cell? Nope, nothing has come close. This was gimmick saturation, and that's probably why WWE elected against making it a regular occurrence. Today, Triple H has the Elimination Chamber to satisfy demands for multiple wrestlers beating the snot out of one another inside of a big cage, so it's unlikely a 6-man or woman Hell in a Cell will ever make air again. Cheers for watching this video today, and hit that subscribe button down below for more of this What Culture Wrestling stuff. The Punjabi Prison. If you listen closely at Great American Bash 2006, No Mercy 2007, and Battleground 2017, you'd hear live crowds bamboo. Yes, I apologize for nothing. Nobody was keen on the awkward Punjabi Prison gimmick, including those working within its painful confines. The structure was reportedly hellish to bump against, and the double cage look made it difficult to watch live in arenas. The match was created for the Great Khali, but he didn't actually work the original. He was replaced by Big Show in 06 versus Taker, something which instantly rendered the gimmick a bit useless really, and would only work inside the prison once. In retrospect, most wish that match with Batista hadn't happened. WWE brought the thing back for one more world during Jinder Mahal's title reign in 2017, but it failed all over again, because of course it did. It'd be a huge surprise if Triple H had this bamboo cage in company storage and thought it was fitting for yet another reprise in the future. So just destroy it please, yeah? Just get rid of it. The Boneyard match. Nobody was quite sure what a Boneyard match was heading into Mania 36. The entire PLE was thrown into question due to the global pandemic, but WWE had a contingency plan. They'd retreat into the quaint performance center for most matches, then film some cinematic bouts at other locations to pad things out. So Boneyard was born. The Undertaker's final specialty match worked a treat too. He and AJ Styles, along with Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson, and a bunch of extras dressed as druids, did their able best to entertain during an uncertain time worldwide, and the brawl received rave reviews for creativity and execution afterwards. It was so much fun that some wondered if WWE would be able to follow up with anything as good on Mania's second night. They did, because the Firefly Funhouse between Bray Wyatt and John Cena was on there, of course, but Boneyard snagged a peculiar place in people's hearts overnight. It's a shame it was a one-off really. The Buried Alive match. There hasn't been a Buried Alive match for almost 14 years. It's true, the last one took place back at Bragging Rights 2010 in October of that year. Here's another fun fact. There's never been a grave-digging bout in WWE without The Undertaker. Now he's retired, can the same be said for this gimmick match? In a word, yes. Iconic scenes like Taker's purple glove poking through the dirt in 1996, or Nexus helping Kane bury his brother in 2010 are a thing of the past. Put it this way, it wouldn't make sense for anybody not named The Undertaker to work Buried Alive in the future. You're not seeing Roman Reigns in one of these things, are ya? Boy, am I gonna look silly when The Rock people's elbows him into a grave in Philadelphia now. It fit the dead man's character to literally try to bury his rivals whilst breathing. Triple H is a bit old school when it comes to these things, so he will not dig up, a stipulation like this one without cause. 2K should totally put it back in the games though. That was a fun time. Bra and panties. Admit it, you knew this one would be here somewhere, didn't you? The WWF/WWE used to be uncomfortably obsessed with the thought of women tearing off clothing. Bra and panties matches even decided championships, which is a rather depressing commentary on the state of women's wrestling before a modern cast of characters changed the game and rescued everyone from dreaded spin-offs featuring pudding or gravy. WWE's attitude towards women's wrestling has changed for the better in the modern era, that is for sure. Now you're more likely to see excellent workers like Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley, Becky Lynch, or Io Sky tear the house down without having to haul at one another's clothing. Thankfully, this will never return, people. The double Money in the Bank. Time to repeat something for you. WWE's pandemic era was strangely compelling, wasn't it? Come Money in the Bank, WWE decided to host the titular match at company headquarters and combine both the men's and women's bouts into one giant building-wide brawl, featuring more cameos than your average Simpsons episode. May 2020 saw food fights, a rubbish Doink the Clown comeback, if one could even call it that, and some of the hokiest comedy ever filmed. Hell, Baron Corbin even attempted murder by trying to throw Rey Mysterio off the top of WWE HQ. Family-friendly entertainment. There's no need for WWE to pull a stunt like this ever again, though. They needed uniqueness mid-pandemic, and should be applauded for at least trying to get creative. But a staggered stunt show like this one wouldn't work in front of live crowds, would it? So let's just leave it, yeah? Did you enjoy this WWE match types you will never see again video? Then tap on this 10 amazing wrestling moves you'll never see again video too. It's just as terrific, I promise. Bye bye!